Good day, good day. Welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Jay, and this is Homeschool Kids Podcast. Make sure to be sure, look, make sure, this is how you know I'm so new to this, but be sure to check the schedule for the Homeschool Yo Kids Expo. We are visiting 14 cities this year, and we're very, very excited. So coming to a city near you, check it out. And big shout out to one of our major sponsors, Classical Conversations. They have nice curriculum and homeschool help assistance for you to check out. So check out Classical Conversations. And I'm gonna get better at this, like I am. Okay, I am. I need to write it out more. But okay,
you got it. You got it.
Thank you. Thank you. I need that support. So today we have with us Akili and Z. Introduce yourselves.
Ladies first.
Okay, thank you. Thanks, babe. Well, I'm Z Ilyuda, Aziza Ilyuda, and do I introduce us both? Look, we're still new at getting interviewed. It's been some years, but it's not that often. So I'm Z. He's Akili. You also hear us call him Manny. We're the creators of Adroit Comics, which I know we're going to talk a lot about, and we're also the co-founders of Flowing Rivers Learning Center. Flowing Rivers Learning Center. I need to enunciate today. Yes. Flowing Rivers.
Flowing Rivers. Okay, Learning Center. Akili, you can give your own introduction because she tried to take over you.
No,
go ahead.
Well, I'm Akili Ilyuda. I am the artist and the co-creator of Adroit Comics. I've been an avid comic book reader, lover all my life, and through our experiences and things happen, we have Adroit Comics.
Nice. Okay, Adroit Comics.
Adroit, yes, Adroit. It means special person.
Yeah, and gifted, talented.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay. So I don't even know where to start. And do y'all homeschool?
Yes.
Of course.
Yes. We have 4 little...
You didn't put that in there.
No, I know. I didn't send you a bio. I didn't do
no.
You didn't
send it. Like I'm used to this though. I'll be winging it. But
and
no,
that's probably because we
homeschool.
Yeah. So we have 4 daughters. We have 4 beautiful daughters, ranging from 15 to almost 11. We have Amira. Amira is 15. Asha, she's 14. Asante, she's 12, about to be 13, and Amazia, and she's about to be in February 14th. She'll be 11.
Happy early
look
birthday,
at them stair steppers.
Yes.
Oh, how is that, honey? Then all them hormone
I don't know
age.
anything.
Y'all done made it to the hormone age where they changing, and I have an 11-year-old, and it's been a process. And we ain't even made it to.
My aunt just told my mother that she has heard the quietest teenagers she'd ever heard in her life. So that so really, she said they're having a good time. They know how to play over into crazy music. And we raised them on the 80s and the 70s. So, music's a little different.
Yeah.
Teach me.
Look, we'll get together. They're really good girls, and yes, the hormonal and growing up thing, we just navigating that day by day with a lot of prayers.
Well, and knowing that, we all been teenagers, so teenaging doesn't change. So it's the parents that change and expect the kids to change and be like them when that's not what it's going to be. Teenagers are always the same. They always want to listen to their own music. They always want to put themselves into the world and say, hey, I'm a person now. And so just let them guide them.
Yeah.
We guides. We're not their wardens. So
we're not their dictators.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So,
I have a very opinionated 11-year-old. She's very outspoken, very all of
Sounds
that,
like mine.
all of that. You'll probably see her during tea time because they like to pop up on camera like anytime. It's like, you're doing an interview?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm interviewing.
Let me introduce myself. Let me introduce myself.
That's how they
Well,
do.
okay,
That's
so four
great.
young ladies,
Mhm.
and it's nice to know that they're all in the same age bracket, basically. So,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
has homeschooling been? Teaching four different personalities, four different individuals, four different little human beings. How has it been?
Well, I'll let her start this
Okay.
education.
Okay. So it's definitely been a curious journey. We work in education. Homeschooling was the beginning of my educational work. And then I got into teaching English. And then, there's more about that journey. But we just really been working to adapt. We tried a few different things. We're unschoolers at heart, but we're really working to, have more structure and help make sure that they're equipped for real life, right? And just really going with the flow. That's one of the reasons we named our center Flowing Rivers, because we really try to go with the flow with things that they're interested in, things that they're passionate about. We put in individual time with kids, but some of them are so self-led. Like Asha, she's super duper self-led. Like she'll just learn everything and then come back. And I was like, how did you learn that? When I just heard all of them. So they do a lot of independent studying, a lot of exploration, and we really work to give them the time to work on those skills that they need. So we're kind of easy breezy with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've tried, we started with like the K-12 thing when we first pulled them out of school. And that was just way too much. That was just it was way too much. And
that's the virtual.
That's the virtual.
Yeah.
I was like, y'all are doing too much. Y'all doing
might
way
as well
too
be
much.
putting back in school with that.
Yeah, it was too much. The classes were huge. They didn't get to speak. They didn't really get to interact. And the workload and their requirements was just out of this world. So we're like, no, we're going to do this on our own. We're going to do this our way. And we haven't used any set curriculums. You can really do a lot online without putting out a lot of money. So, yeah.
Yeah, and plus what they were teaching, it's easy now because it's we've been doing it for what 10 years now, over 10 years.
Over 10,
yeah.
Homeschooling.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say who prompted it who prompted the removal.
The first year oldest.
The first one.
Together, it was a joint.
Really, it was me.
Realization.
Because I had a horrible time in school, and I saw it start happening to my oldest daughter, and she was getting in trouble with one girl, and if we asked her not to put her next to her, we go to school, she right next to her, and then the teacher started playing favoritism. And she's a sweet kid, and I could start seeing things changing in her, and more, things about materialism and things that we weren't putting in her. We was like, we gotta get her out of there. And then as we started to be enlightened about a lot of the things that they were teaching, there's no way in the world we was gonna keep it. Was it was no brainer then, because the more and more you see what they teaching them, it's like that's not real history, that's not real this. So it was easy, it was no brainer.
Yeah. So what grade was she in?
Second. Yeah.
Second. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the younger two's never been into
public school.
They don't even know. They're looking forward to having more, more interaction with other kids. But you can see a difference between our older two and our younger two when it comes to like their freedoms and how they act sometimes and their thought processes, because they didn't really get indoctrinated at all.
Like
sit
they
down,
don't
go here, do that.
Like Jack Frost or
they don't know nursery rhymes.
Nursery rhymes. They don't know what that is.
8-year-old. I be feeling bad sometimes. I do.
People be like, I don't know what that is. I was like, oh, we can teach. But it's because it's based on a standard that we don't set up. We don't put on our children. That's it's good for some people because it's cultural. So we say, hey, you have your culture. You do what your culture does. We do what our culture does. My culture doesn't involve that. So you do what you do.
Yeah,
we do.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons we started.
I love that.
As well. It's cultural. We want to make sure that our culture is represented in the right way and by the right people. Yeah.
Nice. Yes. Oh my. So we have the comic book and we also have the Learning Center. Which one came first?
The Learning Center. Okay, so which came first, the chicken or the egg? Okay, so can I take this one, Keely? I take the lead.
Yes,
I take
go
the lead
ahead.
on this one. because we'll both be talking and finishing each other's sentences and all of that.
I love it.
So we started homeschool, and he had always been an artist. So when we met, he had already graduated. I was graduating. Funny story. We met at Hooters. That's our funny story. Yeah. So you Hampton Roads.
Not
so
only
you know the Hooters.
that, she was a Hooters waitress. You said we met at Hooters.
Like, I'm just saying we met
Hooters waitress.
That's our funny background story.
Don't make it seem like he was at another table.
Just getting some wings. No.
Yeah, I was a regular at Hooters.
Oh, she did put that out there.
That's funny.
Are y'all from Hampton Roads?
No, I'm from Jersey. I was born and raised in
Jersey.
Yeah.
Texas, Houston, Texas.
And we met in Virginia.
Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What? Get out of here. And y'all both were at HU, at Hampton University.
Yeah, in different times though. I'm 11 years older than her.
So, okay.
So we never went to school together either.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was working and she had just gotten into school and I saw her and I never stopped thinking about her.
I'm gonna get mushy. No, I'm gonna get mushy.
Right? Like, oh my gosh.
Later. 25? Well, how many was it? 2002. 2002. Yeah.
2002. Yeah, 2002. Okay, so what was our question? Okay, so we met. So he was always an artist, and then we dated, we were separated, we came back together, we started our family. I was a trained actress, but when we started I am, right? So the acting may come back again, the acting and the singing, it'll show up again. But I just really put all of that on hold because it was family life, right? And it was really, really important to both of us to really be about our family. And so we really were doing his art career, raising our babies. And then, we did celebrity things and the whole.
And let me interject, my artwork was not for kids.
Yeah, it was not for kids at the time.
It wasn't like I was doing pornographic art, but it was the subject matter was not for children.
Yeah.
It dealt with streets, so sexuality, things like that nature. So I made a big change in my subject matter through life and 4 little girls.
Right.
I'll share some of that art with you another time as we get to be, cooler and cooler. So that was that life. And then the Father really called us to do something different. And we left everything. We left that whole career. He really just stopped art, period, for a good amount of time to really cleanse and figure out.
My name was Akili Richards as well, by the way. We changed our names when we changed our faith. Or we rejoined our faith.
Renewed our dedication.
Our dedication. But Akili Mansa Richards, I did a couple of celebrity art shows and stuff, but that lifestyle is not for us.
Yeah, it's not the win.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not the win. So we left. We fell off the face of the earth, and just really focused on our faith and what we needed to do to really be in the Father's purpose for us. And on the other side of that came education and doing art for the kids and doing books for the kids.
Yeah.
And really working to help inspire kids with them, seeing characters that look like them, seeing these people with powers, really working to help save the world, just really wanting to make a difference because just really wanting to make a difference and really be about our purpose.
And I've always been like in the comic books. So this is not like I did this because hey, let's start a comic book. I started to draw. My first drawing I could ever remember was Batman. And I was like maybe 4 years old. And I was like, hey man, I can do this. And ever since then, I've been loving comic books and then a lot of demonology and things started being entered into the comic book realm that I didn't realize was already there. And then as I saw really delving into history and how they were pulling things from mythology, and when we find out myth means history. Like if you go to etymology and find out what myth means, it doesn't mean it's not real.
No, it doesn't.
So all these things we keep on seeing, like even the word hero, it's a demigod. So villains those are the peasants. Those little words that they've been putting in the comic books to kind of separate people and worship different things. We was like, we want to keep that out of our comic books. We want to keep the ultra violence out. The world's real, so you're gonna have violence. You're gonna have people die, all the things. But we're not trying to scar your kids. We're not trying to do things well that involve the bedroom in our book. This is not, that ain't for us. That's for the parents. So that's what helps us with homeschooling. We're like, listen, a lot of this stuff is not for us to give to your children. We're here, we want to entertain them and then teach them. But there's other things that if we can't, I don't want to put in my hands because it's too much of a responsibility. So it's your parents' responsibility. So so that's what we kind of got with our kind of where we kind of started with it.
Okay.
So I guess to answer your question, comic books and art came first, then came education, then came
So
the youth comic books.
I had stopped drawing really for a while. I had this picture that I painted. When I was younger, I used to frequent adult, strip club. Just be real. And I used to go to, but I used to see the women and I used to see the men and see how life was being sucked from us. Me too, because I was in there doing it too, and I can see and I can feel it. And I did this picture called 100 Miles Past Empty, and all the women were like, their complexions were leaving, and all the men were all grayed out because their souls were being sucked from them. And I had this one girl in the corner just screaming, like, get me out of here. So poignant pictures for an adult crowd, but I said, let me get them younger before they even get there. Let's, because once you're there and you've been like, we done been through the fire, let's get the kids so they don't get burnt. You know what I mean? That's where we're at right now with the comic books, because we've been through as a generation, what I mean? Like, so these last kids, we went through, so we changing it for our kids. Yeah.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
That's definitely the goal, end goal.
Yes, exactly. Grandkids and beyond,
Yes. All right. So we have the comic book and then the Learning Center.
Okay, so I'll take over for the Learning Center. So when I started teaching English online, so I was teaching ESL with kids in China. So that was a big industry. Now China, sometimes they're letting people teach and sometimes they're not. Like online, teaching English as a second language to students in China.
I know. I'm trying to think of one of the programs because I feel like
you did it.
I applied, but I didn't go through all the way.
VIP
I
Kids.
VIP
Kids.
Yes,
that's the biggest one. VIP
yes.
Kids.
Yes.
I have some funny stuff to say about that, but I won't do all of that right now. So VIP Kid, I worked with Magic Ears. That's really the two companies. But I was putting in crazy hours. It was a lot of moms, a lot of women, a lot of people putting in crazy hours teaching these students on the other side of the world who are like literally 12 hours ahead of us. And one night it seemed like I was getting a little delirious. Everybody started looking the same, after 7 hours. And it just hit me. It's like I'm sitting up here in the middle of the night teaching these kids on the other side of the world whose parents are paying top dollar. Though they're only paying the teachers 12 to 15, they're paying top dollar to study with an American or North American instructor so that they could speak in a way that resembles North Americans, right? So that why do they need that? Not that I'm anti any group, you know what I mean? But as I was helping them speak perfect English, I was like, Johnny down the street, Tyrone, Colleen, whatever name we want to give, because we were definitely living in an impoverished community at the time. In the center of Houston, I was like, I know they can't read. I know they can't read. So what can we do to shift the paradigm of illiteracy in our community? Because honestly and truly, all of the elements of teaching English as a second language, I mean, it's a second language for us too. Now, we may have been born here, but this is not our native language. But nobody approaches it like that, So that's when the Father really put it on our hearts. Like, we have to do something for our kids. We have to do something for our community. So we started, it was called a different thing back then, International Gifted Academy. And we started working with teachers online to really be able to provide quality educational services at an affordable price to families who really, really need us. And of course, what we found, most of the people who really, really need us don't necessarily have the budgets to pay in a way that can sustain, right? So we decided to really, really put all the energy that we could over the past few years into our comic books, with our comic books being the fundraiser for us to really be able to provide services to the community.
As well as reading source as well. So that's like
reading resources. Yeah.
So when you learn with us, you learn through comic books. Mm-hmm. So we put there's like SET prep, there's all kinds of preps that we use in the comic books that you can read with the questions and all that, or just read your comic book and enjoy it.
Yeah. You can read the comic book. So we have the straight up comic book. I've been, for the past 2-3 years, I've been working, like we have homeschool students that we work with. I work with after school students. I've been doing a lot of like reading support, academic coaching, really boosting reading skills and confidence. And the comic books are a huge part of that. So our whole like learning initiative that's packaging the comic books with reading instruction is called the Comic Book Genius Project, and really unlocking the genius in your special learner through comics. So children, I don't like labels. I understand that these diagnoses are in place so that we can know that something's going on. So I'm just using them for that. I don't do that. Like I've had kids, since I'm dyslexic, and then they feel all bad, that's a whole nother. But for symptoms of dyslexia or ADHD, kids that are it's hard for them to pay attention, or they're just overall not engaged, right? They put names on everything now. So one that I've heard is like what is it? Not oppositional defiance.
Defiance, yeah.
Yeah. I used to call my 2-year-old that when my oldest was 2. I was like, oh yeah, it was because we were on the way out from visiting one of her cousins was in the hospital. It was a CHKD hospital. And they had a pamphlet. And me and her dad, we walk in and I'm like, I'm picking up stuff. I'm just a reader. I like reading. But I picked up one of the things and it had opposition. I said, oh, this sound like her.
This sound like her.
Sound like her. She was 2.
That's so funny. We both actually went to start a grad school. I started for special education and she did it for educational leadership. And we saw how it was just bringing us to be against the parent. And I was like, no, I'm not doing this stuff. It's like all the system that make the parent feels like they need to comply. And so we backed away from that because it was like the opposite of homeschooling. And I had a really rough time with school. Like she said, this really kind of started from that because like I was labeled as the bad kid and I had a 2.3 grade point average when I graduated from high school, but my pen was nice. So I got in Hampton. Really, they was like, you can get in. I didn't have the credentials to get into Hampton, but I was in the National Honor Society. I always got A's in art, and Hampton's big on art. So when I got there, man, it was a crazy experience, but it wasn't necessarily. The people were a great experience. Institution, that's a different thing.
Always.
It's always is. So. I met my wife up there. We're great friends of one of my best friends in the world. He was my roommate in Hampton, but the place, I love the area. The area was just, but the school, they had their own agenda. Like, like most things do.
Institutions
do. But it helped me a lot. I learned a lot with art. But my education, like I said, to go back, I didn't have a good time. They said I was a genius, and then 2 years later they said I had a reading problem. So I started school early because they said, hey, you tested genius. And then because my inability to code the words, and they didn't know, because back when I'm 51 years old. So back when I started school, these things weren't really been talked about a lot. I had a problem with coding. Words would jump in front of each other, things like that. And I didn't even know how to explain it. So I was having a hard time in school, but reading everything that I run to read by myself, I had a computer in 1986. And when nobody had no computer but me, I learned how to beat SATs with that computer. Really, they told me to push C. They said, push C if you don't know. And I was like, all right, I got 760 in 30 minutes.
I'm about to say 30 minutes. In and out.
I did 30 minutes, I got 760 on SATs. And I got in the Hampton because I got the 760. I had a track meet I wanted to go to, so I did it in 30 minutes. I used to, so when I got with my wife, she was completely different. I was fighting and gambling in school, and I didn't fight light, but I got into whatever I got into. She was in class with people who work at NASA now. So, we would complete into the different ends of the spectrum. In like 7th grade, they told me I had to go to special ed, but I was also in one of the highest math classes. So I was in special ed in math and one of the highest math classes in the same year. So I realized, I was like, this is not this. I realized the hypocrisy, and I was like, I got to get out of this. I was like, so I just kind of just got through high school. Was like, I don't want no more schooling. Ended up in Hampton, and it took me 8 years to get out.
But you got out.
But I got out. I thought I was gonna be done with school, but it was 8 more years. But it was an experience, But through all that, I learned what I learned about art. I learned more about fine art, and I merged my style with my fine art and graphic design, and now I use digital airbrush to paint my things I draw on, my sketch them out.
And we share, if there's time, we wanted to share a screen and like share some of his art, some stuff from the comic books, and we got a new website up.
Yeah,
so we want to share that. Okay, good.
Yes, we'll have time for that.
Yeah,
of course. You can make time, girl.
Yeah,
I know that's right. This is your show.
So
your show.
And we do everything in-house, web design, the music production, the artwork, the writing. As right now as her and I, and of course we want to grow, but whatever you see, it came for us as well as homeschool. So we tired sometimes. You understand? Homeschool parents understand being tired, but fulfilled though.
Yeah.
Fulfilled though. Yes. So the comic books are basically like they're the foundation of it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. You can say that they are.
Yes. Yeah, I would say that.
And the content of the like care. Well, I guess we can get into that when we show like the
and also we have them for little ones too. I forget we didn't miss that. We have it's called Adroit Comics Junior, and that's all for young learners. And we have like Charlie and the ABCs, and that's Charlie. He's a B, and they have a band, so they have a scat band, and there's a mouse named Fat Cat Daddy, and a bird who plays the flute named Carlos, and what is that? Andy the Ant, and they jam to the old jazzy stuff, and then the Quintessence family. Who else do we have? Sophia the Cat. So it's all for kids who from like maybe like that's 5 on up. It's like learning how to read. Well, not 5, a little earlier. So
yeah,
right. Yeah.
Yeah, we got stuff for the early learners.
Yeah.
And so we have stuff for the early learners. And I have drawings in that too. He's my art teacher. I didn't draw before, but so I have some illustrations in the early learning series. And then so that's Adroit Comics Junior. And then Adroit Comics Universe, the books are written for young adult readers. But we're working on having multiple levels, especially for instructional purposes. So having it at like that 3rd to 4th grade level and the 6th grade and up. So we're gonna have like 2 different versions. As far as our stories, but we can talk about story now if you want to. I mean, that's really important. What do you want to do, Miss J? What do you want to do next for the dialogue?
No, I mean, okay, so I'm curious about, these 4 young ladies also. Okay. Are they artists? Are they partaking in the comic book series? Or like, just a family affair?
It definitely is. They all took after art. They're digital painting now. My 14-year-old she's already designed professional websites, so she's a web designer. My oldest does crocheting and knitting and drawing, and they all cook. They've been cooking since they little bits, so we could be in the kitchen, so we don't have to cook if we don't need to. From the on up, they can cook. They know how to. We wanted to make sure that they can take care of their person. And the people around them. So, it's affect your community by being able to put in. And some people don't know how to put in. So they got theirs they can put in, they got their thing to put on. And they all have a thirst for what they want to do. My youngest 2 want to start a restaurant. the oldest two.
That's a lot of work. Tell them that's a
Yeah,
lot of work.
they
It's a lot of
understand, but
work.
it won't be in America though, so it'll be a little
Oh,
bit.
okay.
Yeah, we're planning on relocating to Central America very soon.
Okay.
Yeah, good water, good
Where are
air.
y'all located now?
We're in
We're in
Florida.
Florida.
Florida. Okay. Oh, wow.
It's too cold.
You said it's too cold. You're not far enough down south.
No, it's not even. It's just too. We tropical people. This cold's not good for us. So we trying to get to a place where we know food continuously grows, and you know you can pick it from the trees, and you know what's put in it. So
Yeah, we're working to
Yes,
be
I love
totally
that.
self-sustaining.
Yes. You know, we're in Arizona and I tell people it's
Okay.
cold here. Like I said, next place I'm moving is Mexico. So
I know that's right. Let's go.
We're moving to Belize. That's our
okay.
plan.
Oh,
We're moving to
wow.
Belize.
Mhm.
We've been looking at a place for about 7-8 years now, but
Yeah.
we've had a lot of crazy stuff.
This is our year. This is our year.
Yeah, we had a
Yes.
house fire a couple of years ago. So we kind of, a lot of times you might see like pauses in our work. And we had a house fire and pretty much lost everything. So that's when we were in Georgia. And then before that, we were in Texas. We've been around. We
I
moved.
love that. Yes.
We're
You know, I'm
moving
all about the
around.
traveling.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay. Oh,
So,
let me go somewhere else. But we're headed to Florida next week, actually.
oh,
For your
We leave
expo,
out.
right?
Well, we have one in Virginia, but my family's in Florida. So we always pit stop there and then we can go to Virginia for the expo February 1st. And then we're going to
we're in
Jacksonville.
Florida. That's where my mother's from. My
Yeah.
mother's family from Jacksonville Beach.
Oh, okay. My
Yeah.
sister stay on that. I have a sister that stay on that side, but most of my family's there.
It's from-
My parents, my nephews.
Y'all might be
sisters.
cousins.
We might be.
No, we're not from there though. They just live
Okay,
there.
okay.
They just live there? Okay, yeah. My family is they're the from the tribe that was around that area.
Okay.
It's all
Yeah.
They call them Seminole, but I'm not sure, you know, what they've done to change our languages and change what we are. So
Right.
but that's, you know, we're part of the natives of Florida.
Nice. Okay. Oh, this
And
is
well, that's funny
awesome.
because it goes into the comic book, because our comic book, we just kind of want to open the world to like different possibilities. Like, you know, what was here before and what they said was here and all those good things. Like there's a thing called the Baghdad battery that a lot of people know about. It's 5,000-year-old battery, I believe it said. And it uses certain kind of substances and you can commit power. So it kind of changes your perspective on what you think about the past.
Yeah.
Binary code is 5,000 years old. So what were they using it for?
Right.
You know,
Right.
so
There's so many questions. There's so many like, but I love that you're able to present like this information comic book style because it's more easily, I guess, like you know, process.
Yeah, you can digest
like,
it a little bit easier. Yeah.
Yeah, digestible. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's pictures make things a lot more simpler, I guess. I don't know what it is, but I love
oh
that.
no, sorry, no, you keep going.
Oh no,
I was about to talk over it.
Go ahead, love.
It's been proven and it's research proven, even when it comes to reading and comprehension and all of that, it's just proven that comic books are just super duper awesome.
Yeah.
And it's one funny note that Keely had told me like back in the day about when because I didn't grow up reading comic books. I was in the library just devouring everything. So he was the comic books and I was the novels.
I was not in the library devouring.
Yeah, I was the library nerd.
I was like, keep me away from the library.
But what did you say? So the Flash, how did the Flash get his powers?
A particle accelerator.
That's a real thing. But it's a lot of stuff that's prevented in science fiction.
Yes.
You know, so I mean, not saying that we're going to all, you know, become speedsters because of the particle accelerator, but it's, you know, it's based in real stuff.
There's so many things that are based in real sciences on these shows and comic books that we don't really realize that they're using these things, and they've been using them. So in the common knowledge, you know, if you go put in HARP in the search engine, you'll go find the weather manipulating instrument. It's not
hypothetical.
Not hypothetical.
No,
it's not
the information has to be presented to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just
so it's that's the thing. It's just how it's presented. Like you said,
Exactly.
it's presented in a way that it seems fictional, but then once you start researching and you start going down
Exactly.
holes, it's like, wait a minute now.
We had to stop. We had to pause on those rabbit holes. Like,
You and me both.
it was some years. Like, I told some people, I
Yeah.
was like, between natural medicine and quote unquote the truth, we have some PhDs. They just don't give those out. But we had to
Right. On the
pause for
streets,
some.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, and you gotta be, everybody don't need to know what you know. The Father gave it
Yeah.
to you.
Yes.
So some things are
Yeah.
not for everybody because everybody's not ready for it. So,
Yes.
there's things that we might know that I don't, and I go tell you, oh, well, this might not be his name, or this might not be this. And you might want to, because it's so close to you and who you are, then you're gonna strike out at me and want to hurt me. So I said, well, the Father gonna bring you to where he needs to bring you, because you right where you, I'm right where I need to be.
Well, what I've learned recently, and this is through talking with someone on the podcast, is real dangerous to try to get someone to your worldview.
Yeah.
Especially, and that's what I was talking about, the information being digestible, because we think that we can go and talk to someone, and as practical as it may sound to us and as logical as it may sound to us, you're talking to people who have been thinking or programmed in a way for 45, 55, 60 years, and you thinking that, oh, you about to go tell them this information, and they just about to be, okay,
they'll get so
no, honey.
mad because it can attack the very core of their humanity.
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
what we've been taught, how we've been programmed, everything that's been put in front of our faces since we were born into this system has created the whole construct of our identity. So, I mean, there's truths that the Father presented to us that at times just had us standing there like, what? Are you serious? Like, are you really serious? And even scripturally, old wine, new wine in the old bag. People are just, everybody's not going to be built for it.
No.
Yeah,
no.
so we go to the kids and build so they are built for it.
Yes, because kids are way easier. I tell people, adults is hard headed. Like I ain't about to go back and forth with you. I'm not about
I will not refuse.
Yes, no, as a messenger, you got to understand that the message isn't to be beaten, like it's to be delivered. And once you deliver it, you keep it moving. Like love, either you gonna receive it, or whatever's meant for you is gonna be meant for you. But my thing has always been kids.
Yeah.
Like
too.
I feel like that they're the ones that matter, because they're the future essentially. So seeing and understanding the impact, and mind you, my girls they love graphic novels. Like that's their thing. Like they won't read a book if they ain't got no pictures in it. Okay.
How old are your girls?
8 and 11.
Okay.
Oh, they'll love it too. We the same way, because really, like I said, it's about culture. So when the creator created the world, he created different cultures, and he didn't give us all the cultures the same thing. So we'll be given a certain scripture, and he said, this is for your culture. And then we'll get mad at another culture because he said, well, he didn't say that to me, because he didn't. Because he didn't. He gave them something different, and he gave them another thing to get to him as well. So we don't push that. And even in the comics, we push in spirituality and understanding.
And faithfulness.
But that's in any book and anything that you see, even in any comic books. If you see Marvel, it's all surrounded in spirituality. Like if you look at the whole Black Panther movie, it's all spirituality and mysticism. So you can't separate the two. Star Wars, this is about spirituality. That was their faith.
Like, what is the Force?
It's
not a spiritual thing.
They went to a temple.
They were monks. I mean, they were,
so it's just we're showing you who we are without trying to say you need to be what we are.
Indeed.
You know what I mean? Because we're priests, and we're here to be just
royal priesthood. I mean,
so do what we do. We don't say you got to be what we are. We're supposed to show you who the Father is. So there's a difference, So that's how we approach our whole comic book, and the fight for justice, the fight for love, the fight for humanity, showing that there is different things at play here. It's not just humanity. This is this fight more than just humanity. There are different beings in this plane.
Mm-hmm.
within this, because we created a whole new plane as well in our comic book.
It's a whole different universe.
Yeah,
it's not Earth.
It's and it's so we can play. It's based on, it's a flat surface. It's not based on a sphere. It's based on it being the prescribed in scripture, being on the
It's foundation
and firmaments. So we go with that when we delve into book, and yeah, kids will like it because it's a lot of action. It's a lot of action. It's a lot of espionage.
Strong male and female characters.
Yes, exactly. Very strong male and female characters, and not pushing a envelope just because it's gonna, all right, this woman has to be strong here. Well, sometimes a woman or a man gets scared, and they don't got to be stronger than women. That's why you got a champion. So really, just being real with it, just showing real life.
Celebrating family.
Celebrating family, exactly.
Yeah,
100%. 100% celebrating family, and showing who we are through it too. Like a lot of characters. New Sienna is where it takes place, and Sienna, of course, is brown. So that's why we named it New Sienna, and it's really like where people would consider Atlantis might be. So it's like in the center of the plane, and it's like we call it the city in the center of the universe, or the center of the world, right? Yeah, so the city in the center of the world.
Yeah, the city in the center of the world. Yeah, and
the epicenter of so many things.
Yeah, so many things. And at the start, we have to delve into this more. There's so much, because like we've really been working on this universe for years now. So we have so much story to share. So it's going to be really awesome when we're able to get more artists to be, to do different issues. We have 4 issues available that are complete right now that people can see. But at the onset of where we're starting the story, there's a lot of turmoil in the land, and there's a lot of questions being raised from the people who were originally there, like the tribes and the nations that were originally there, how they were usurped by the powers that be now in our world, right? And then they're called royals. The people in power are royals, but there are those questioning who decided you're a royal. Where did this, who decided you're a royal? What makes a royal other than, power and oppression? What makes a royal? So, so those are some things that we're presenting and we're exploring.
It takes place in 3073. So it's this futuristic past.
With a retrofuturism.
Retrofuturism, yeah. So it's real cool.
I am so intrigued. I want to read one.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to. I'll send you one. I'll send you what's out. Your media. You're spam now. But no, I'll send you a copy, because I was going to say that I'd love to talk to you about how we can partner and be a part of your expos, whether we can physically be there or not. We're working on some touring concepts and talking to some sponsors. We're working on some things. So that will be really awesome to be a part of what you're doing. Okay, so you're sharing a doc.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
I was getting ready to go get the book and put it in there for you, but is that how you do it?
I can send it.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, so
well, whenever you're ready, we can share the screen.
I was gonna say you could share. Yeah.
Okay. So and then I'll send you.
I have it open.
You have it open. Okay. You're gonna love it when you like the reviews that we've gotten. I don't have them written down. If I did, we would already be number 1. Just people, adults and kids, like, oh man, this is gonna be so big.
So
nice.
This is our second book, the Tackle the Zakarians. Crimson Hawk. He's our lead champion. If you notice, we don't call them heroes. That's very Marvel.
Champion.
Champions and defenders. Heroes, Heracles.
Yes.
A union of the fallen and humanity.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's not what our defenders are. Okay.
This is Jamal McCall. He's
a big news anchor for us. He delivers our news.
And there's also we also have a really heavy. It's not Hispanic. There's no Spanish in there, but if you would they speak Latin too as well. So
Yeah.
like the capital cities are a lot like a mixture of New York, LA, and Houston. And it's about the size of Houston. So we have a baseball league, 2014 baseball league. Max's favorite character is one of my favorite players is on the Bears.
You in the show or the first page, just adroitcomics.com, because it has a lot of artwork on there.
All right, let's go. I do have that open. There we go.
Okay, good.
Oh, that's from this is Adroit Comics. Here. Some battle scenes.
So Crimson Hawk is our first feature character. He's our main character right now. So it's like everything surrounding him. And he's actually former military. He lost his memory 10 years before our first issue. And a major part of his journey is discovering his true identity, which in the first issue he does discover, but it only leads to more questions. So he's on a quest to really find out what happened to him. And then there's a lot more to that.
Yeah.
There's a lot more to that. There's a whole resistance and rebellion, and there's a lot going on.
On our blog, and we have a About Us video on here and a little trailer that we created. I'll just put you down through some of it. So this pretty much will tell you what is going on in the world right now. So I'm gonna skip through it a little bit, and
so you can see some of the characters.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll keep talking.
So you made an animated version.
That's what we're working on. Okay. That's a part of our big plan is to animate.
Nice. And I'm actually.
So this is one of our big bad guys, General Blackheart. They say that he has no heart. The Spectrum. He's a teen defender. Miss Elemental. She and her husband are actually teachers by day. So she teaches kindergarten. And this is Royal General Donovan Vonderdime. Okay. He's one of the royals. That's our one of our speedsters, the Golden Bolt. I'm trying to figure out what all I can say. Okay, without giving too many spoilers. Okay, Night Train. That guy. Okay, that's Bonnie Voyage. She can jump through portals. She's actually a part of an ancient, divinely appointed team of defenders. Okay, now it's Inferno. Okay, that's the Hurricane. That's Elemental's husband. And he's a college associate professor. Jade Scorpion, she's one of our first antagonists, and her story is really complicated. You're going to get a lot of Jade Scorpion. Pink Lightning, she's another teen defender. She's Golden Bolt's daughter.
Ebony Stone.
Stone. So she's a private eye. Yes, ma'am. So you can see her with braids and fros, and when she's undercover, she has some wigs. Okay, Billy Prince, he's an antagonist. Got a lot of mystery behind him. Yeah, and the Crimson Hawk. I know that wasn't the most dramatic description, but
that's all right. You did it.
No, that's all. This looks amazing.
Yeah, so that's pretty much
that's his team. Well, part of his team, Pops and Lika. They actually found him in the jungle 10 years ago. When the incident happened where he lost his memory, they were the ones who found him and nursed him back to health.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're excited? You ready to read?
I am. I'm very excited. I love reading. And the girls, I don't know if y'all ever heard about She Fly. She Fly is a comic book here. We got it from one of the local vendors, but they be at First Friday, an event that we go to every first Friday of the month.
Okay.
And I think we got like 2 of their comic books, but that's the only other like Black comic like that we've come across. But yeah.
Well, we're happy to be your next investing most awesome.
Yeah.
And when we do it in this, our comic is not about exclusion. There are not just brown people in our world.
No, I saw the little pink one. I saw
pink.
pink.
And it just, when I grew up and I looked at the Avengers, the starting Avengers were Captain America, Hawkeye, well, not Hawkeye, Giant Man, the Wasp, the Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor. Where we at? So, but I read it and I didn't complain. Did not complain. And when we got when they reinvented the X-Men, Storm was the first Black woman to be introduced in X-Men. Where were the other ones? Black Panther was created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. So, as much as we may love the fact that these men made these people to represent us, we didn't make them to represent us. So they do what they want to do with their products. And I remember people say, well, if you want to do what you want, make your own. Well, we did. And when we did, we're the ones that we're going to focus on because I know what we do. I don't think it's right for me to keep going to other people's places and talk about their things. I talk about my place and my thing and my house. So that's how our stories kind of come about, but definitely not about exclusion. We want everybody to be able to enjoy them. Everybody love them. This book is not about racism. This is about knowing and not knowing. It's about the haves and have-nots.
Yes, you know what I mean? And the information is for everyone.
Exactly.
I know when I created my app, I talked to a Black historian about like him contributing some curriculum. And I don't know, he was kind of offended that my app was for everybody. Like he wanted it to be just like for Black people. And I said, that doesn't make sense because I don't want my children growing up in a world where, only the Black ones know the truth about stuff. The only like them that like that doesn't benefit us. Like that's current. Like, we need everyone to partake in the information. And that's the only way we're going to get it.
That's been my world because I've always had people of different, races be so good to me as well as my people. We had a hurricane in Virginia when I first met her and knocked out my power, knocked out the water. My boss, a white lady, she was my mother away from home. My mother, she was like, no, go shower at my house. My boss, she was like, you good? I know you don't want to come to. So she was like, go take care of yourself. And she wasn't there. She just opened the door for me. So when you say and you close your mind into believing that someone of a different race won't love you, won't help you, and won't help us to succeed.
That's a programming.
Exactly.
It's a program. Just like they're trying to put us back hard into that program now. Hard.
Big time.
And we live in Florida, and what they say about people in Florida is not true. Not where we are, and we live in the middle, in the middle of what they call Trump land. And some of these people, the sweetest people you ever want to meet. We have a friend named Jane. No, Jill. She's
Jane.
Jane, and she walks her dog around. The dog is our best friend, and we talk and talk. And we don't look at each other and say, oh, she's like, oh, what are y'all doing in my neighborhood? It's everybody's neighborhood. And you won't think that you'll get that from this area because right down the street, you'll have a Trump rally. But what does that have to do with?
Yeah, they'll be right there on the corner.
And reality, it's not reality.
Indeed, it really isn't
reality. And when you live in a false reality, then none of those things bother you. But when you're in the reality, you'll know that the people
and the reality that you created, no one else. That's the thing.
Created, and they're giving everybody the ability to create these little false realities and live in them by themselves. And a lot of the phones help to do it. And they sit there and they live in their false reality. They stand and we don't want our kids to be a part of Yeah.
Not at all. Like it's an illusion to say that everyone who's white hates you, just like it's an illusion to say that everybody is black loves you.
Girl.
It's an illusion. It's an illusion.
That's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
If that was the case, why are we not all winning?
Yeah.
God, what?
Why are we not all winning?
Why are we not all winning?
Knock my breath away, honey. That just knocked my breath away.
Not all winning.
You better tell it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's not a lack of love for our people at all. We're here to love red and yellow, black and white. That's how I was raised, Sunday school style.
Yeah.
Right?
I think the key is love. That's
Yeah.
the thing. I think
And
if
take care of your
everyone
family first.
embodies themselves in love,
Yeah. Hey, take care of your
then
family. And
of
it's and I'm not talking
course.
about the people in this room, our family. And making sure that they have what they can have and understand that they ain't where they need to be. And they can be in a better place.
Yeah.
Because they gotta take they gotta take the lock off their mind first. And this is not no new concept. It's not a new concept. When someone really realized that you are owned here, then that changed us when we realized that we were owned.
Yeah.
And like literally still owned. Not this thing where they say that no, we own you. And then I realized that, hey, I didn't sign that contract. So how do you own me?
Because any contract made with a minor, you can't make a contract with a minor.
And you can't, and also American contract law says that it needs to be what?
Done in good faith.
So
for it to be legitimate.
So
it has to be done in honesty and good faith.
But we don't, I mean, this is the first time.
That's a whole different, yeah.
We really
all
don't.
of it.
Yeah,
we really, because we don't, we really love comics, we love art, we love people, we love culture. We want to, in the comic book, like, so what if somebody you would think is Asian and they're eating a falafel? Or they eat it, and you be like, wait a minute, they're not supposed to eat that. They're like, according to whom? According to whom? That's something, a stereotype, and that's according to this land and wherever they say that this is, because I love cilantro and I realize cilantro is all over the world. But they're gonna try and tell me that the cilantro is only in this part of the world, but then in Chinese food and then in Jamaican food, they may use the same things as the soy sauce and the Caribbean food, and they use the same spices. Because we've always been everywhere. We've always used. There's in biblically the redwood trees that was Solomon speaks of. They only grow in California. So somebody ain't told me the right thing, and it's right there in the scripture. So there's
been a lot left out,
and a lot.
There's been a lot left out.
There's been a lot. There's so much, because they don't want you to know the truth.
A lot left out and a lot put in.
And a lot put in. So, because history is written by the winner. So they're gonna put their little writing in sometimes. So but yeah, so we want to.
As you drink your tea, Z.
Yeah, you
got a tea time coming up.
Yes, that's time. Great. You gonna be there, Miss J? Are you able? You got time? Okay.
Yes,
good.
ma'am. Tell the people about your tea time.
Okay. So I'm happy that the tea time gets to keep going. So Akili and I together, we're about our comic books, we're about teaching the babies, and I'm also a lady and I like cute lady things and having lady time. So originally this tea party concept started as like a fundraiser event that we did in Georgia a couple years ago, that I would still like to see happen in real life. But right now we've been focusing on doing virtual homeschool meetups virtual meetups for homeschool moms. Where we can connect, we can chat, we can talk about exciting and important things. This month, we're really focusing on serenity and prosperity. Mm-hmm. And I have a really good friend of mine that's coming to speak about her business, Kingdom businesswoman, Candace. Shout out, Candace. She does business coaching, and it's all about being in your divine purpose and doing what the Father has for you in a way that's bountiful and prosperous for your family. So she's going to talk a little bit about that, and it'll just be a nice time to connect and network. So I'm looking to do these maybe once or twice a month. I was doing them weekly, but I think I think once or twice a month is good. And the more we can promote it, the more awesome moms will get to be a part of it.
Indeed.
So
Where do
that's
you
a good
find the
thing.
information for your tea time?
On Facebook. We need to get a whole website set up for the tea party.
Yeah.
So I've been sharing
Yeah.
mostly stuff on
In due
Facebook.
time.
Yeah, in due time. So Adroit Comics is up fully. That was our priority. And then we're working on a website for the Learning Center. And the Learning Center, it will be the hub for all like the community events that we do. So we're doing the tea party. We're partnering with a mom that I met at the tea party. She's really awesome. Mayor Pace. She's in Colorado. You're in Arizona. Okay, she's in Colorado. But she's going to help host a weekly meetup for homeschool moms on Wednesdays. So it'll be Wellness Wednesdays.
Is this virtual?
Yep, virtual. Everything virtual right now. Okay. We want to connect with more people to do stuff in person. But right now, we're a virtual learning center until we get to the point where we can actually build our facility and do things how we want to. It's all virtual. Yeah. So no matter where you are, you can connect with us and join. And I know after COVID, people got used to virtual, but then even beyond that, it's a lot of families that are feeling really isolated just as homeschoolers. Like sometimes it might be hard to go join that co-op. It might not be anything where you are, where you feel comfortable and that you're able to connect with like-minded people. So we want to be able to offer that virtually. And it's been nice. The moms have really been enjoying it, happy to have a space. When I first started promoting it, I put it out there just in all the groups everywhere. And all the moms who gravitated to us look like us. Mm-hmm. And so, we needed this. We need our space. I said, well, y'all come and it can be us. I'm not going to tell anybody don't come. But Mayor Pace said, but do other cultures really crave the camaraderie of their sisters? I was like, I don't know. That's a good question, Mayor Pace.
They do, but it's their sisters.
Yeah, it's their sisters.
It's right? Not, it's like, I remember my father said when he went to, he worked in the school system at Newark, and whenever they would have a meeting with the board, automatically you would see brown folk going over here, Hispanic folk going over here, and white folks going over here trying to figure out what was going on. They all knew each other. No one had any animosity toward each other, but we just gravitate. It's a natural thing. There's nothing wrong with it. So to involve yourself, then it makes this thing uncomfortable sometimes. That's why they don't. And it's nothing wrong with that. Just like if somebody goes into their situation and then they, you can't take your shoes off. So when you're not able to do that and open up and say how you feel and not be judged and not, then it's a hard time to have a good conversation. And this is really what it is. And it's nothing wrong with the separation of family to have a family talk. It's what you're doing with your sisters. So if somebody be like, oh, this isn't, and then you come to your sister, but you got to know this sister talk. So if you might not understand or you may not feel what they're saying, you ain't going through what we've gone through. So sit back and relax and enjoy the ride, or get off off the car, get out. Well, really, because it's not your house. Really, and it's not that we're gonna be talking about
straight like that.
It's my house, my rules. If you want to go to your house and do your thing in your house, go to your house. I don't come in your house and say, man, y'all need to take y'all shoes off and not walk around.
Right.
It's my house. And there's nothing wrong with me being quiet and saying, man, all right, I don't like the fact that but that's their house. Let them do what they're going to do. It's not hurting nobody, because it's not, I know when y'all get together, it's not about hurting anyone. So that's why I don't need to be there. It's not for the brothers. Why am I sitting up in there? It's been a change in the world that makes everybody feel like they got to be everywhere. I remember they started inviting men to baby showers. I don't get it. It's something for the ladies. It's fine. It's fine. I'm all right. I'm all right in being for you. It's just I want to be there too. Why? You don't trust your woman? Like, let her go. Let her be. It'll be all right. And that's kind of where I feel like that show is. It's like it's our thing. If you don't like what we're seeing or whatever, it's probably because you doing some of the things we're talking about that we don't like. So
Quite possibly.
Yeah.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. I just love y'all
Space
and
is
enjoy.
space. Where you're welcome is where you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Welcome.
And everything doesn't have to be for everyone.
Agreed.
That's how I feel. Yeah, because there's some things I don't want to participate because of the way their culture is. That I don't go around saying, "Hey, you shouldn't hold up a sign saying you can't do that. You can't do that. You can't do that." They in their house with the door closed. So what we gonna do with that? So I really, that's why we like with our comic book and going back to that. It's what we want to show the world and the way we want to show it, and we're not doing it to hurt anybody. We're showing a people thing. So the Tea Party is a people thing, and it's not here to hurt anybody. It's for women to grow, for have a time that you don't have your kids with you, and you can just talk, because it's hard to do that when
fellowship.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Homeschool, and women are different than men. I've never seen it. I don't need to go around a bunch of men and talk about things. We're built different. So I don't necessarily need that. Women, that's been a cultural thing where women get together and they solve society's problems. Because
you should check out the Black Men Homeschool.
Yeah, and it's a group on
podcast.
Facebook. Oh, it's a podcast. Okay.
No, it's a podcast. Yeah.
Okay. That's a totally different environment. And you're saying a podcast, and you have 20 men getting together, we all sitting there talking. A lot of times we just listening. We're not going.
These men's different. They be on the phone, yo.
Unless they want to
be
fight.
on the phone.
Well,
Keely's not on the phone.
Because they on the phone. Kind of. I ain't no kind.
She said they be on the phone.
I'm not a phone guy either. I don't know if it's because I'm of my. Like I said, I was born in 1973, and
that's different.
It's a big difference. So I'm not a phone guy. So maybe that's what I said. And I want to bring it back to my culture where we're not necessarily phone guys. One of my best friends in the world, is in North Carolina. And he is my brother. I speak to him on the phone maybe once every 3 months. Maybe. But when we talk, it's like, and he'll give me the shirt off his back and I give him the shirt off of mine. But we don't do phones. We saw each other, we'd hang out with each other and we'd do all that. But on the phone, I don't like phones, man. I don't like what they can.
It kind of turns into gossiping at that point. It's like, what you talking about?
Yeah. I remember
Dame. Talk on the phone all you want to. I'm just kidding. Okay.
But Dame Dad said,
nothing to do with me.
I don't like to talk about no other grown man. Like, I don't really like to put another grown man in my mouth and keep talking about them. That's his business. Like let them do what they do. I mean, you have to do it your way. I can't do that. Me personally, I don't really like getting into I don't know them cats. So how am I gonna really vibe like that and get into any kind of real deep conversation in that situation? I'm very protective over mine and what I have. I feel more comfortable talking about it with women when I talk about it because y'all a little bit more caring than men, and not a little bit, a lot more about. Yeah. But I love my camaraderie, but it has to be in its right place for me personally.
I understand. No worries.
He's been a lone wolf for a long time.
Yeah.
And that is fine. That is fine. But I revel in solitude myself.
Yeah. I love humanity though. I have a thirst for humanity. I have a thirst for people to like, if you love being around 1,000 people, I wanted to be that you can be around 1,000 people and have a good time without feeling like somebody's going to try to come behind you and take your stuff from you or whatever because you're in the wrong atmosphere. So it's just do your life. The Father gave you your thing, and I'm not here to dictate it. So that's where we are with it. So like I say, what I'm saying with me, that's for me. I don't eat fruit.
Indeed.
And other people be like, you don't like fruit? No, I'm the weirdo here. I know most people like fruit. I can't stand this flesh. It looks.
They'll drink it in a smoothie.
I can drink a smoothie, but like looking at a piece of orange is like looking at raw meat to me.
What?
Yeah, it does, and I have a hard time.
That's wild. We're not even about to go into this because it's already past the hour, and
listen,
Z gotta get ready for her tea time. But that's wild.
I'm a wild dude.
I have
Maybe you can have us on
never.
another time.
Yeah, but I love
Yes,
like
have
you say
to. Definitely
smoothies,
have
but
to.
yes.
I know. I'll do a lot of things in smoothie that I won't do like by themselves. Like avocado
Yeah.
is my thing. Like I can't handle the texture, but I could drink it, but I can't
That's
eat
the
it on
and it's a
anything
textural
or
thing.
in
See
anything.
exactly.
It
Yeah, my mother
is, but
doesn't like
that's
avocado either.
wild. Like
Yeah, it looks
oranges
like,
though, that's raw meat. That's crazy. I consume so many oranges
but it is
within
raw
themselves.
meat.
Kind of wild. Like
It
Was
is
it the
raw
flesh
I
of
don't
the
know. That
orange?
hit
It's the
me.
raw meat. Even scripture said it's meat for you. It's raw meat, but
All
it's
right.
all right
But
though.
before I let y'all go, before I let y'all go, because I ain't about to do that. Um, from each one of you, I need 3 things that you will tell homeschooling families as they enter into their homeschooling world, finding themselves. Oh, no, wait, hold on. Before we do that, how do you self-care, both of you?
Look, that's a good question.
Self-care. Oh, so as far as spiritually or physically, because we do a lot of mushrooms, do a lot of but if it's just like how do I like let loose?
Taking time for ourselves.
I play the Sims.
Self-care.
Yeah, that's
I
it.
play the
Self-care.
Sims. Play the Sims 4. And I have MC Command Center, so I can kind of control different things of the game where I can, have and I look at humanity in that way, and I learn a lot about psychology through Sims as well and people, and I
Okay.
paint. That's my
Yeah,
biggest
art.
thing ever is being able to create. I'm not a spiritually not a good person when I'm not creating. I just feel
Yeah.
down. I just feel like I'm not doing my purpose. And I just feel like I am wasting space.
That's
So
true.
it's
Those are really true words that he just spoke. Um, Art and writing are a really happy place for me, and I'm not doing enough of it lately because I've been grinding really hard. I need to take more time. Like Keely and the kids are like, you can stop working now. Like you can sit down, you can
yeah,
relax.
yeah.
So that's definitely something that I need to work on personally. And I'm just praying that things can really come together over the next, short amount of time. And then we can take a good break and just have like a self-care month. And
And
y'all gonna be
cooking.
like, where's the
And
cooking?
cooking. That's my pet. Like cooking. I cook like an old lady from Alabama.
He does.
Yeah.
I
I
love
learned
food.
from my grandmother. She was old lady from Alabama.
He does.
Yeah, she told me.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Nice. As long as you're following that balance,
yeah,
very necessary. And I always talk about self-care being priority,
yes,
not an
yes.
option. That's definitely
Right.
a priority. All right. So for real this time, before I let y'all go,
Mhm.
3 things. Look at my little maker. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
3 things that you would tell new homeschooling families that are entering into finding their own groove, finding their own way, creating their home, their way. 3 things you want them to take into consideration.
Okay, I'll
Okay.
start. Let me
You
start
okay.
here
Okay, you
because
go
she
first.
started doing this because she saw and knew that she didn't want her kids to have an education experience like me. So I would say number one, I love Marvin Gaye. He had a song. This is everybody wants their world to be their own. Everybody wants their kids to be their own piece of clay. That they're let them mold them to what they want to be and not what you want them to be. Follow their dreams and not your own, because a lot of times you want to build this person to be this thing. Like say I'm an artist and I'm like, all right, then my daughter has to be an artist, and then she may not want to be. See what she loves, cater to it, explore different options, and let them be children. And that's another one. Let them be children. Let them be children. And then remember that you took them out of school because they were institutionalized and they were in a prison. So if you put them back in prison, they're going to act the same way.
Yeah.
So
They were
break
in a
the
prison.
psychosis.
Yes.
I heard this one podcaster say, and I don't go this hard to say that. He said he believes that if you keep your kids in public school, that it's what did he say?
A
It's
form of
child
child
abuse.
abuse.
He says it's a form of child abuse. And like I said, I don't, that was his words, but I'm telling you, if you keep them in school and you don't have to, some parents can't take their kids out of school. But if you have an ability to, and if you do, look at what they're learning. Just look.
Because if you look at what they're learning, that'll motivate you to do something different.
And it's scary. But you go ahead and it's scary, but
okay, my
it.
thing. Okay, so 3, I like everything that Keely said. Each day, just take each day as a new day. Like that day doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly what you scheduled out. Your 100 things that you put on that to-do list can keep. It's okay. I like making every day a party that I can. I think that
she does.
it's like, oh, okay, let's party. Oh, we got some good news. It's a party. You know, we've had a lot of challenging times in life, and
we party when
we party our way through. You know, so the girls, like, it's sometimes I won't go hard right now, but it's some times in our past that are a lot different than most Americans.
Yeah.
But when our girls look back, that makes me when they look back, they just have happy memories.
Yeah.
You know, they're like, we played, we did this, we made this, we did that.
Yeah.
So just make the most of every day.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, we came from a place we didn't have running water.
Yeah.
As a family. We had holes in the windows. We had gunfire like you couldn't believe, like some people. Like New Year's Eve in Houston was like we was in Beirut or something. I mean, AK-47s, everything, the shooting over our head.
And then this was all over people robbing us, but that's a whole different call. But the Father and keep the faith, right? I know that might
faith, but we kept the faith through the whole. We had no car.
People like we'd be walking to go do our laundry, you know, and put the laundry in the suitcase. And we're like, are y'all homeless? And be like, no, because people don't walk, you know, especially in Houston because it's so hot. People don't walk anywhere, and we'd be walking to the bus stop or walking. I'm like, no, but thank you. You know,
but when you walk, you walking in the streets.
Yeah, so and you ministering in the streets.
Those are the people that became my friends.
Yeah.
So
this is a journey. The Father has you on an important journey. So take every day, make it count.
Really?
Sometimes throw your to-do list and your schedule and your curriculum out the door because that's something somebody else set up for you and your child. And just embrace your child's learning so that you can give them what they need. And it may not have been written down already. It may not have been written down already.
So really we kept our faith through this.
Yeah.
And this is some people may even think it would be a faith breaker because it would something like you think you jumping out of the fire, the pan and you into the fire. That was us. But the whole time I've been painting, the whole time she's been writing, we've been moving around. We thought we was going to get inheritance and ended up not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was a lot of stuff. So it's like, all right, because we were running the move to Belize 7 years ago.
We're supposed to have been ending this podcast.
Oh, listen to it.
I know.
Well, let us come back.
I'm gonna listen.
Yeah, but I just say the one thing: don't give in. Like we've been given opportunities that with my skill set that I don't, people have been trying to buy my skill set from me, and people have been doing, I've been approached by people that people were like, no, really? And then no, because I got to stand before the Father, just like them, and then they can say, did you take that? Like, no, I did. And through taking that, I struggled. Yeah. I've been told that nobody's going to see my artwork.
So we proving them wrong.
He told me nobody was going to see it because I didn't do what they told him to do.
Yeah, that's true. Guess this got a little more emotional than we thought that it would.
So we is. So
I appreciate the transparency. Yes, I appreciate
nobody. I went to a meeting. They was a mutant with VH1. They told me that nobody my artwork ever.
Well, that's not true.
That was a long time with the creator.
Yeah.
So here I am.
To his name.
Yeah. So really, I've. You remember you watched Good Time before? You ever seen the paintings?
Yes.
Ernie Barnes. I had an interview with CNN about his passing, and
yeah, if you search it up, it's on YouTube.
And you know, to be transparent, the reason that they knew about it is because I told them, and nobody ever said anything about this man's passing. And here I am with barely paying my rent, and this man who meant so much to our culture, and we talking about doing it for the culture. And this man that everybody, like, what's his name? And they don't know it's Ernie Barnes. And they didn't know that he didn't never have his eyes open on the pieces because we blind.
I think that's a good drop.
I appreciate y'all. Yes, I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for having us.
Of course. I feel like everything you shared is just, it will allow families to grow into them and understanding that it really is about what works for your home.
Honor to the Father. That's what we want. We want that. Yeah, because it's families that, you know, we found out that family means servants. So we wanted to be more as our tribe. You know, they changed our language. Familiar is your servants. And so people
I call my kids my gang.
See,
okay, that's good.
Breaking the cycles is because your family is workers, and we treat our families like that now. It's like, how do you work with me instead of, but it's more than that's your tribe when we work together. So, you know what I mean? It was a shift of paradigm.
Yeah, shift the paradigm. Yeah, that's what we're here to do.
Yes.
And you are doing it. You are doing it. Thank you. I look forward to connecting further. Families. Listen, okay. It's yours to create. It really is. It's your home, your way. Don't let anyone step into that. Grow together, learn together, love together. But of course, always, always, always homeschool your kids.
Yes, ma'am. Hey, thanks, Jay.